continue our conversation with Saftu, that is with Saftu's General Secretary, Zwelinzima Vavi. He's still on the line for us. Mr. Vavi, thank you very much for being patient and just waiting for us to come back there. I know that there are some things that the ANC, the SACP and COSATU have said there in the Western Cape that you would agree to. They also feel, they are also saying that the government and the laws that side, the bylaws that side, are victimizing the taxi industry. But because of the fact that they're mentioning the DA, don't you think it's now going to quickly become a political fight?
Unfortunately, everything is political. Everything. By the time we wake up in the morning, we're talking politics up to the end of the day. And it's unavoidable. And the Democratic Alliance is a government of the City of Cape Town and the Western Cape. They must take responsibility. In fact, we're getting disturbing information that the political dynamics within the Democratic Alliance is what makes that city and province to be so unstable as we speak, in that this J.P. Smith is a deputy chairperson of the Federal Council, and he's feared and respected by his colleagues, including those that he's serving under, such as the Premier, the MECs, and his counterparts in the City Council. And that's why yesterday, for example, the Minister of Transport would have been in the meeting attended by the MEC, but the MMC, this Smith, just didn't come. And the next thing we hear is the mayor parroting what J.P. Smith have been saying all along, and saying that we won't go there until they renounce violence. And look, had we taken that view, that we can never negotiate the future of South Africa until the ANC, the PAC, AZAPO, and all of the liberation movement renounce violence, we would have not been where we are today. P.W. Botha made this demand to Tata Nelson Mandela in the 80s to say from his prison cells he must renounce violence so that negotiations can start. And Tata Mandela was correct to reject that as a condition. You don't set preconditions for negotiations unless your strategy is to ensure that there's no negotiations at all, which is what I think J.P. Smith and the City of Cape Town are trying to do in this particular instance.
So what then should be the solution, very quickly? What do you think should be the solution as Saftu? Because tomorrow is a public holiday and that could be the reason things are quiet today. For all we know, it might flare up again on Thursday, and sometimes it will then spread to other parts of the country, especially after you saw them target a national road yesterday.
Our hope is that the ministers infer to Plan B is that she will go to court today and interdict the bylaws of the City of Cape Town, in that they are not consistent with the national legislation, even though they are implemented as if this is the requirements of law. And secondly, that our hope is that the courts will grant that interdict and order the City of Cape Town to release all of the buses, the mini buses that it has impounded for many months, and pay damages for the taxi operators who have lost their income whilst their buses are being put in some storage of the City Council. That's what we hope for. But in the meantime, we want to make this appeal. We are opposed to this violence. We are opposed to that carnage that is happening. We are opposed to the burning of the buses. We have always condemned the destruction of the rail infrastructure. We are opposed to shooting of the private cars by whoever behind that. We are opposed to the looting of the malls in Cape Town. That can't be justified in any way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of South Africans would definitely agree with you. Thank you so much once more for your time and your patience. That is Zwelinzima Vavi, the General Secretary of Saftu.